Hello friends, and welcome back to my crafty space. My name is Crystal, and in today's video, I am going to be working on my Project Life Week 12 for 2021. In this spread, I am using the Paper Person Made from Scratch subscription kit from the month of March, I believe is when this one, actually no, I think this one was February was when it came out, so I received it close to March. So it's a kit that's all about food and cooking at home and all of those good things. It's funny because I normally don't take a lot of photos of our food, but this week we just ate a lot of really good stuff this week. So I have a ton of photos of food that I was able to document and get a little bit of a different story about our week than I normally would. So I have my photos already printed. I have my journaling already printed on the cards, which I'll link a tutorial up at the eye for you in case you want to check out how I do that. And then all I have left to do really is just do some stamping and embellishing. So I will go ahead and put you on fast forward while I get the rest of this assembled. And then once I have it done, we'll slow back down to close out for the day. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to start this week by working on my title card first. I selected the green card that's got the two sections with the labels on them to use as my title for this week. I have been just adding my date stamping onto my title card instead of the whole week and the week number titles. So far, I'm actually really liking it. It seems a little bit simpler, and then I'm not as hung up about what week, particularly it is. It's just the specific dates of that week. So I added those into each of those label sections, and then I'm going to stick that card back down. Then I'm going to move on to working on some embellishments. So this kit did not come with any chipboard or stickers or anything of that nature to use as embellishments. There were some label sheets, which I'm also going to use in this spread. So what I decided to do was to grab out some of my white matte sticker paper and to use the stamp set to create my own embellishments. So I'm just going to stamp a bunch of the different sentiments. I've got one that says, chef kiss, the signal for like something is delicious and perfect. I've got the pot there, the saucepan, large saucepan, I think is what those are called. There is this one that says made from scratch, and that's just kind of a label that you can stick onto one of your photos or just into, whatever area that you want to decorate. I will add one that's got a bunch of different icons that are representative of, maybe a section that you would see on the countertop where things are lined up there, and just a couple more. So this is a great way to use stamp sets to create your own embellishments, is to just put them on the sticker paper, and then I will go ahead and fussy cut all of them out to later add to my photos. I will also pull over the card that says Bon Appetit on it and debate adding of a sentiment onto there that's basically a checklist of how it was made or something of that nature. And I'll go back and forth on it a little bit and basically go to do it and decide against it. So that is pretty much all of the stamping I'm going to do. Once I have this done, the next thing I'm going to work on is adding my label stickers onto the photos. This is going to be a great way to add some extra journaling into the spread because I only have those two journaling cards for the entire thing. There are a couple of fillers, but not much for journaling. So what I did for this week is I turned one of the cards that I wasn't going to use over to the back side, and it became a grid paper. So I used that as a journaling card. Then I also printed some journaling on a 5x3 canvas and then printed that out from Photoshop, trimmed it out, and I'm going to add it to the scallop pattern there. So the scallop pattern will basically be a mat behind my journaling, but that was a way for me to get some more words onto this page as well. And then for the individual stories that I wasn't necessarily able to journal about, I'm going to use these labels. There are lots of different sizes and colors and all of that, which made this really fun because I could vary it and find ones that would fit in even the smallest of spots. So I have like the circle one I'm going to stick in the middle of all of our fish tacos right there. I've got the largest one up at the top on the only 6x4 photo that I printed. There was a huge space to add that on, so that was kind of nice. I've got a long, skinny one on the picture of Izzy drinking pickle juice, which is interesting. And then I'm just going to stick some more of these around the spread. Once I get all of those on, then I'm going to work on positioning all of those stamp sentiments that I created. So we'll cut them apart and then stick them around the spread to figure out where they would go best. And then once I have that figured out, I will fussy cut them out, add them onto the photos, and then also put my journaling onto those labels. I will say that these label sheets have a slicker surface to them, so I am going to use a slick writer pen to write on them. That way I know the journaling won't smear when I eventually add these into pockets later. Sometimes if you use just a regular pen, the ink doesn't hold up quite as well on these slick labels, so just keep that in mind. For any of the labels that went over the edges, I also trimmed those off because I just wanted the labels to interact with the edges. I like the way that that looks. So I did go ahead and do that first before working on, assigning these sentiments where I want them to go. I also need to go ahead and add this journaling portion into that scallop card at the bottom, and then we'll work on getting this embellished and getting all of the journaling in. While I'm working on all of that, let me tell you about the stories that I chose to document this week. Now, we had a lot happen this week, and I actually took a ton of photos. But to help me keep things a little more interesting, I really wanted to use the prompt or the story lens of telling our week through the food that we ate. So a lot of the pictures are food related, which is cool because I don't often do that. So the first one there that you see of Jonah, he's holding a Frisbee upside down with a bunch of dirt and stuff in it. He loves digging around in our raised garden bed, which right now has no plants in it and probably won't this year because the kids just like to play in the dirt. So he came over with this Frisbee full of dirt and told me that he had made me some soup. So even though that is a picture of him playing outside, it still was food related because, he made soup, he made dirt soup, which is interesting. Then I've got a picture of some fish tacos that Aaron made us. He's experimenting with some different recipes, and that one was really good. And then the middle picture is Izzy drinking pickle juice out of her water bottle. She is obsessed with pickles and then decided she wanted to drink the juice. I was like, gross, and posted a photo of it on my Instagram stories and found out that that's actually a thing, that people actually drink pickle juice, and I had no idea. I just thought that it was the strangest thing I ever saw, and was really interested to get that response back, that was kind of normal. At the bottom of the page in the middle, I've got a picture of my two kids standing up in their seats as they're eating lunch, which is something they do all the time. I've got a picture of myself after I got my first dose of the COVID vaccine on there, just because that was really momentous. So even though it wasn't about food, I wanted to have that documented on here. And then at the bottom of that photo, there's a picture of my kids sticking their tongues out, and their tongues are vibrant red because they had licked red marker off of a window, which is the story that I told, the longer story that you see there that's matted on the scallop card. And then I have some pictures from the zoo, I have some pictures from our art class, and then a couple more pictures of the food that we made, including pizza and then some wings. All right, friends, so that completes my spread for this week. I love the way that this one came out and that I was able to get all of those labels used up on these different photos to add a little bit of extra context, a little bit more story into why I chose those particular photos for this week. I think that this one is really fun. If you enjoyed seeing this spread come together, I would love a thumbs up on this video down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button while you're there if you haven't already, so you can see all of my future crafty videos as well. I will be back again tomorrow, Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, doing a live scrap with me, working through a bunch of different stories. And then again on Friday with my next Story Kit Crush project planning, as well as process video as well. So hopefully I will see you guys then. Until then, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, friends.